What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. We're going to talk some Thursday night football between the Colts and the Titans before we get going. As always, I do beg of you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Support the channel. Appreciate it. Everything we do at The Lines is absolutely free, so you'll be the first to be notified when we get going. Go ahead and hit a thumbs up on this thing, and then let us know in the comment section how you are going to go about tackling this game. Stick around to somewhere in the middle of the video, maybe the end. We're going to give away an Amazon gift card as well, so you're going to need to find out how. So just follow along there. Guys, as always, I have a written breakdown over here on the lines for the entire Thursday night football game. Colts at the Titans. If we take a look here, Colts are 5-3, 4-4 against the spread. Titans 6-2, 3-5 against the spread. Net yards per play, the Colts, one of the better teams in the NFL at 0.8, fourth in the league at net yards per play, where the Titans are down at 11th. But again, upper third of the league for the Titans there. On the injury front, we're going to have no Jack Doyle for the Colts, and I'll scroll if you want to keep going. You can see if you are in Indiana, there is a special offer for this game you might want to be able to go and take advantage of. So at Unibet. So if you're there, be sure and take a look at that. No Titans. As far as the Titans, there'll be no Adam Humphries. There will be no Adoree Jackson tonight for them. Let's take a look at these lines here, guys, over at DraftKings. Colts, 1-point favorites, 48.5. Your total over here at FanDuel. Colts, 1-point favorites, 48.5. Your total at William Hill. It is a pick'em right now, 48.5. Your total. The reason this is significant, I've showed you this before, but if you hit this stats button right here on DraftKings and you hit betting trends, you can actually find how these lines have moved. So if we take a look right here, you can see that the Titans opened as 2.5-point favorites in this game. Line moved, and then bam, all the way to where we are right now as them being 1-point dogs. So this thing has moved a full 3.5 points. And look, no key numbers because it was 2.5. It didn't move off the 3 or anything, and it moved through the dead number of 0. But still significant that it went from 2.5-point favorites all the way to 1-point dogs in this game. You can see the total as well started all the way up at 50, and then now where we are down at 48.5. So it's fallen a whole 1.5 as well. So some movement on these lines, both on the side and the total. On the Colts offensive side of things, guys, I think this Colts team, the record, a little deceiving for how the offense is played, because you look, the pass offense DVOA, 20th overall. And I'll let you read along here for some of the goods here from the breakdown. I should mention T.Y. Hilton is going to suit up for this game despite leaving the game last time they were out. Rush offense, 21st in the league for the Colts. Third down percentage is 28th in the league, so way down there. Yards per play is down at 17th. So, I mean, it's just not really that great of an offense, not really that efficient of an offense either. Neither of the running back situation is not any good. Jonathan Taylor looked like he was going to take over. Now it's Jonathan Wilkins. Neither one of them got to 40 yards last week. So just a lot to kind of start to pick apart here really for this Colts team. That said, their blocking unit, pass block and run block, both in the top 10 in the league. The Titans offense, not much better from a blocking standpoint, but their efficiency has actually been pretty well. Pass offense, DVOA, which is really interesting, and I think a lot of people would probably look at this and say that can't be the case. There's just no way. Tennessee's pass offense is actually second overall DVOA, and I know that seems absolutely crazy, but that's where they are sitting right now. Also, their run offense, 7th overall DVOA. So they've been getting it done. Yards per play is 6 yards per play, which is 7th in the league. So the big thing here, Taylor Lewan went down, and in the last 3 games that he's been gone, this team is 1-2. We talk about offensive linemen and how important they are to these teams and how they often get overlooked. And Taylor Lewan, definitely one of those offensive linemen that gets overlooked as to what he meant to that line and the success of this team. So not the same team that put together all of those stats that I just mentioned to you, because Taylor Lewan, again, is not in the lineup for this Titans team. He's on IR. On the defensive side of things, guys, and I'll continue to scroll a little bit if you want to continue to read along. On the defensive side of things, the Colts defense is really what's been winning them games and keeping them in games. If you take a look, their pass rush has been pretty good. Their rush defense, according to Pro Football Focus, is 6th overall. You look at their coverage rank, according to Pro Football Focus, it's 8th overall. And DVOA backs these things up. Rush defense, 2nd overall DVOA. Pass defense, 5th overall DVOA. So you take a look at this. That's what's been doing it for this Colts team, is the defense and the defensive side of the ball. They're allowing about 83 rushing yards per game, which is 3rd best in the league. Again, who are we facing here? We're facing Derrick Henry, and we're facing Derrick Henry and this Titans team. And so, you know what they want to do? They want to give Derrick Henry the ball. They want to run the ball. However, Colts team with a real good run defense, only giving up 83 yards per game. They also are 9th in sack percentage as well. So they've been getting to the quarterback really, really good. We'll flip back over here to DraftKings just so you can take a look at the lines and stuff as I talk. On the defensive side of the ball for the Titans, look, it is kind of a mixed bag here. If you take a look at their rush defense, it's about middle of the pack. But we just talked about how this Colts team has had no success whatsoever on the ground as it is anyway. So not too worried about that. The pass defense, on the other hand, 24th overall DVOA. Their pass rush at 16th, so about a middle of the pack. So it shouldn't be that tough on Phillip Rivers, because we just talked about their offensive line is a super, super strength, and the pass rush is not like it's this crazy good pass rush for the Titans. So Phillip Rivers should have time to throw back there in the pocket. The problem is, does he have anyone to throw to, and can he get it to anybody in this game? They also, on this Titans team, again, without Adoree Jackson. So he is a key cog at that cornerback position for them as well. He's not going to be in there. So let's take a look here and make a case for the over if you were looking to play the over in this game. And as we mentioned, this thing has dropped from 50 all the way to 48.5 right now. If you're looking to play the over in this game, I think the thing is, hey, the Colts defense, while good, is not going to be able to bottle up Derrick Henry and the rushing attack that they are going to want to present here. It's going to, and with that, look, running the ball a ton doesn't make play action work better. We've actually proven that through science. I mean, through the data and everything, is that, you can run play action even if you're not running the ball effectively and it still work. However, if you are running the ball effectively with a guy like Derrick Henry, where you need to have help, right? You need, like, the first guy and one little guy is not tackling Derrick Henry. So if you can get an effective run game going, it will, I think, enhance the play action game, because guys are going to get sucked up because they need to come help out, try to get Derrick Henry to the ground. And it could only help the play action side of things from that. I think that would be a way we could look towards the over is, hey, Colts defense, really, really good. Maybe not so good against a guy like Derrick Henry and the way that this offense functions. And then on the other side, they're not going to run the ball anyway, the Colts. They don't really have a run offense. They don't have an identity on that side of the ball. So they're just they just throw the ball. And look, a lot of people have been having a ton of success throwing the ball against this Titans secondary, especially with Adoree Jackson out on the mix. If you want to look at the under, the other thing that could happen with a successful run game from the Titans, of course, we know, what does that do? It never stops the clock. Incomplete passes stop the clock, extend the game, more points, run the ball, tick, 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 tick. And then what if the Colts can actually find some success on the ground? As we mentioned, look, the run defense for the Titans isn't that great. It's middle of the pack. So it's not like they're good against the run by any stretch of the imagination. They just happen to be worse against the pass. But maybe the Colts find some success on the ground as well. And it's just tick, 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 tick. We have Phillip Rivers, who's been pretty good as far as limiting turnovers. And so they're not going to be short fields in this game. There might not be anything like that. And so a way to look towards the under would be something like that as well. Really good game, though, on paper as we sit. Let's take a look at the player props before we talk about the sides. Very interesting couple of player props here. One, passing yards. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I put Tannehill at 241. So no no edge here whatsoever. I had Rivers. I will say this. I did have Rivers more in the low 250s range. So maybe a little bit of value on the under in this, but I don't know if it's going to make it into my account. Not quite enough for me on that. The interesting part is going to be strength on strength and who ends up winning out here. As I mentioned, the Colts defense is really good against the run. One of the strengths of this team, Derrick Henry, obviously is going to run the ball a million times. 79.5 sits the number. I made this number still in the high 80s because of volume alone. That being said, maybe he doesn't get the volume in this game. Maybe they decide to go the path of least resistance and try to throw the ball. But that being said, I still do have Henry on closer to like 88 yards. And, when you're talking 9 yards in a prop, that's a decent little chunk there for the over. So just letting you know how that all sits for me. If we're looking over at FanDuel, you can see it's all the way up at 83.5 over here. So you would be wanting to play that over here at DraftKings, where we're looking at 79.5. So William Hill, always a little tough to kind of find their props. Their player props are not really set up really great for us here, because you can see they just put a giant list as opposed to giving us any sort of headings and things like that to easily be able to find what we're looking for. But tough to find anything that we are looking for here on this one, unfortunately. So as far as that goes, like I said, it would be the over here on DraftKings on Derrick Henry. The thing I did play, and this is unfortunately already juiced up to 143, was the over Tannehill 8.5 rush yards. Now, depends on where your bankroll is and how much you like this, but I had him closer to like 13 yards. And again, when we're talking like this few yards, that's a decent little edge for us there on Tannehill on the over, but that other people must have projected about the same, because he's sitting here at 143. So it depends on your bankroll and how you want to go about it as far as betting that. The other thing, and we mentioned, guys, as far as Taylor and Wilkins here, the problem is what if they try to make Taylor work again? The guy fumbled, they pulled him out, and they went all Wilkins. Will they try to go back to Taylor? Who really knows? It is like the true crazy, weird backfield situation. We have no idea what they really want to do. So, definitely a slight lean to the over of 31 on Wilkins, because they gave him the ball and he really did kind of take over that backfield. But you can see it's 34 over here at DraftKings. Over at FanDuel. But nothing really confident there. The thing that I did bet, and the thing that I do have here, is Zach Pascal, and I'm looking for him to be the primary pass catcher in this game and be the primary outlet for Phillip Rivers. So I did take the over of 40.5 yards on Zach Pascal, and then I also took the over on receptions for him as well of 3.5. Now, this is strictly because of the way that I believe that the game is going to go, right? There's no run game to speak of for this Colts team at all. And so they're going to have to try to find success through the air. That success through the air, I think, goes to Zach Pascal. T.Y. Hilton is always his injury risk. He's going to try to play through, whatever, a comeback off this injury deal. But let's be for real. Re-injury is always a concern with T.Y. Hilton. Also, he just hadn't been that big part of the offense so far this year. Really and truly, Phillip Rivers has not really been looking his way all that often. So looking for Pascal to be the guy here for the Colts. The only other one that I would consider is an anytime touchdown for A.J. Brown, because you're getting plus money. Not a ton of plus money, but he just continues to look A.J. Brown's way when they get in the red zone. And not only that, A.J. Brown can score from a long way away as well. So just another situation where I would at least lean towards that. Don't know if it's going to get into my account, but if you like to have those kind of fun bets where there's to score at any time, A.J. Brown would be who I'm looking at. As far as the game line goes, guys, this thing has flipped. So full transparency, when this was Colts plus 2.5, I opened a teaser with the Colts already. So I have a teaser leg open, Colts plus 8.5. As we sit right now, I still like what the Colts bring to the table. There's nothing sexy about this team at all. But the fact that they play such good defense, and if they really do go out and try to limit what Derrick Henry's damage can do against them and force Tannehill to throw the ball, like, look, they won last week. The Titans did. But Tannehill was 10 of 21 in that game throwing the ball. You know, he just happened to hit A.J. Brown on some huge plays that ended up making the difference. But I am a little bit, and this is a full transparency here, I'm a little bit down on the Titans compared to most people out there. And so I really loved the Colts in a teaser leg. And I mean, look, if you wanted to get some points, you know, in this, it's not really how we try to go about this. We try to get through the 3 and the 7 on a teaser leg, but it is pick over here to where you could get the Colts up to 6 if you wanted to like pair this with a teaser later down the card. That's one of the benefits of Thursday. You have all the other games you can try to pair this thing up with if you wanted to. So there is at least that on the table there. But again, I weirdly like the Colts in this thing. I like the defense. I like the fact that they're coming into this pretty healthy overall. And I really like the fact that, the offensive line is playing so well. So Phillip Rivers shouldn't, and going up against their pass rush, it doesn't really get to the quarterback all that often, should be able to protect him enough for them to do what they need to do to get this game, to get the job done here in this game. So if I had to play a side straight up, guys, I would be playing the Colts side here, and feel pretty good about it. I think that they will go out with the game plan of limiting Derrick Henry and making sure that Ryan Tannehill has to beat them with his arm. Guys, a full written breakdown over here on the lines as always, so be sure and take advantage of that. If you live in any of the sports betting states, that's what we want you to do. Go click on your state, and you'll be able to take a look at what we can offer. If you're in Colorado, you can see, there's free bets, there's match bets, there's deposit bonuses, all the things like that. So take advantage of that. It's one of the few things the sports books give us to get ahead of them. So you want to be able to have multiple accounts, get the best lines, best use, less, all the things like that. So be sure and do that too. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below if you don't mind. And while you're here, actually, if you are a subscriber, go ahead and put the exact score down in the comments section. And if you put the exact score, and if you just be a subscriber, like the video, and then put the exact score of the game. So example, Colts 77 and Colts 77 and the Titans 56. So put the exact score. If you hit the exact score, then we'll ship you an Amazon gift card. How about that? For your support of the channel. So go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and then leave the exact score in the comment section below. If you nail it, we'll go ahead and ship you an Amazon gift card. How about that? Appreciate it, guys, and good luck on all your bets here on Thursday Night Football.